So I was speaking about the crew members actually. Some of the subjects that spoke on in the documentary are also in the house, and I would call on the producer of the documentary, Madam Kadaria Ahmed, to please step up and introduce.
Thank you, everybody. If you don't mind, I'd like us to observe a minute of silence for Simi Shola Olushola, who was in that film and who died last year. May Simi's soul rest in peace. And our condolences to her family. Her husband is here, actually. You saw him on film, and he's now raising the child she left alone all by himself. So we'll keep praying for him and for her, of course. Thank you very much. I'd also like to ask the members of the team that put this film together, because it wasn't, I'm sure you figured out by now that we had multiple crews working across Nigeria. So it wasn't one of the easiest things to pull out. I'd like them to actually come on stage if it's possible. Adiola, Umi Yakubu, Ishaya Bako couldn't make it. Aking Toye Peters, Oluwatemini Poka, Cici Banjo, Candice Jumbo, Ezekiel Flexi Ariak, Maiwa Folabi, Yemi Nexus Adeyemi. This is really their work, if I'm being honest, right? You can have an idea, but if you don't have the people to execute, then, you know, it doesn't happen. A round of applause for these awesome people, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, guys. I know that there's supposed to be a conversation happening. Yes. Okay. The other people that are here with us today, Adiola Aziz is here. I don't know if you saw her on the film. Thank you so much, Adiola, for being here. I think she's probably the only person who made it amongst those that were featured in the movie. And there's a lot more to come from her, actually, because this is a 3-part story that we're telling. And of course, we couldn't show everything here. We only had to show you the first part. We will announce where the rest will be showing. It will come to a screen near you, hopefully. And if you guys are ready, we're now ready for the conversation. Yeah? All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We are going into the panel session immediately. I'll call on the moderator, Madam Adizat Ibrahim, to please step up and take this over. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of IREP 2025 Day 1. It's my pleasure to be here as well, moderating this panel discussion. I will very quickly invite the people who will be joining me on this session. First is the director and the executive producer of the documentary that we've just seen, Double Minority. I'd like us to give a warm round of applause as we welcome Ms. Kadaria Ahmed. I'd also be calling on Ms. Ireti Bakari to please join us on the stage as well. Please give her a very warm round of applause, please. Thank you very much. And also Ms. Umi Yakubu, please also join us. A round of applause as she comes on. Right, thank you very much. And also Ms. Adiola Oshukojo, please join us as well. A round of applause for her as she makes her way to this panel. And let's talk about this all-important topic. Thank you very much. Do we have more microphones, please? I'd appreciate a few more microphones here. Thank you very much. All right. Now, this documentary that we've just seen, there are layers to unpack, but just very briefly, I'd like to start with some introductions. I do know that you've introduced some of the people here on the panel, but I'd like each person to just tell us a little bit about yourself and especially how you're connected to the work that we've just seen, Double Minority. I'd start with you, Adiola.
Hello, everyone. My name is Adiola Shikojo. I'm a filmmaker and second unit director for Double Minority.
A round of applause for her, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ireti Bakari Yusuf. I'm a broadcast journalist and a general troublemaker.
Hello, everyone. My name is Umi Akubu. There you go. Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Umi Akubu. I'm the first unit director at for Double Minority.
And I'm Kadria Ahmed. I'm the director and the executive producer for Double Minority.
Thank you. So we do have a powerful lineup, and I'd just like to start with you, Ms. Kadaria. One of the factors identified in that documentary as one of the limiting factors to women inclusion in politics is fear. How do you reckon that we're able to address this, especially because when we're talking about inclusion, one of the first layers will be to get more women interested, to get more women out there. How do we tackle this? What's your take?
Okay, so I mean, this documentary is timely, but the fact is that the issues women have faced in politics are timeless. Women were the last set of people to get the right to vote, right? And even after that right was sort of legally made possible, they then went on to sort of face the issues of living in a patriarchy, cultural barriers, societal barriers that essentially say women shouldn't do certain things. And there are consequences for women who actually go ahead and do these things. We're watching one now live before us. We're seeing how a female senator, someone who in society should be privileged, has a lot of power, and is clearly articulate, intelligent, all the things that you don't expect make you susceptible to being bullied and being sort of treated in the way that Senator Natasha Adoha is going through, but still they're getting away with it. So I don't think you can legislate fear, if you see what I mean. I think it is about creating spaces and fighting for spaces where women can feel like they can do what they need to do without getting attacked. But the truth is that a lot of women who are going into these spaces, even in sort of corporate world, even in filmmaking, you do it afraid. If you wait until you're not fearful anymore, then nothing is going to change. You're scared, you take measures, you try to sort of protect yourself and all of that, but you have to do it afraid. We always do it afraid, do we not? We do it afraid. Because the circumstances is like, there's never going to be a magic wand that you wave that will make these spaces safe and make people feel like, make women feel like they can do what they need to do. It takes those who do it afraid to create those spaces so that eventually our daughters and our granddaughters can do it without fear.
Thank you very much. Ooh, do it afraid. I think, one of the other things that that came to the fore with that documentary, and I think it's something that we see play out quite a bit, is the cultural biases against women leadership. Umi, let me get your take on this. How do we, is it even possible to start to dig deep into the roots of cultural biases and uproot, this systemic challenge that has been ongoing for decades and even generations?
I think I'm going to approach that from a different perspective. Culture, for as long as we've known it, is supposed to be a way of life of the people. And within this context and many other similar contexts, we see that we choose when culture actually becomes relevant. So it's not possible to eradicate culture altogether because it is a way of life of the people, even though it's like peer pressure from ancestry and stuff like that. But it is in identifying where is it that we choose when culture enables or serves as a barrier. And then that is where we can then start to identify who are those people that can support in removing those obstacles and in supporting the people that want to move forward. And I know I think Abia State and the northern states, Adamawa specifically, are those places where culture was a big reason why they said these women should not pursue the roles. However, if you look at it, if the women did not run for these positions, they collected these women's money, they attended their events, they laud these women as saviors and people that want the community to be better and so on, until they decide to get in a position that allows them to do it on a larger scale or allows them to do it on that level that they believe is too much power for a woman. So I think it's more about identifying where are those places where we pick and choose when culture should be used as an excuse. And then that is where we see who are the people within that can help us dismantle that.
Thank you very much. If we look at it as culture being a way of life of a people, and it almost feels as though we then now need to have like a mindset shift into what parts of culture do we adopt? I mean, in 2023, someone saying, I do not want to deputize, a woman political leader. Let me come to you, Ms. Siriti, because you're a broadcaster, you're voice of the people, fourth estate of the realm. How do we use journalism to start to change mindsets, to start to educate people, orientate people, just in terms of some of the